Hey, it's Crazy Frank from Halfcocked Gunsmithing, Fresno, California. I've got a gun here. It's imported from Austria. It's an ISSC M22. It's imported by a company in Reno called LSI, Reno, Nevada, and they're really good people. I've talked to them on the phone. This gun, I guess every one of these has the same problem. If you have one of them, and you can, send it back to the factory. They'll fix it for you for free. It's warranted. But if you're blessed with living in California, as I do, and my customer does, this gun is not on the approved list, so they can't send it back to me. It comes in 3 different length barrels. This is a target barrel, and it has this barrel weight on it, makes them more accurate. They're actually a pretty well-made gun, except for one major flaw, and that's what we're going to talk about today. They will not extract. I'm going to tear it down, show you what you have to do to fix it. There's a set screw in the bottom right here. You take that loose, pull this off. There's a indentation in the barrel that locks that in place. It's simple to take down. You have takedown levers on both sides. You pull the slide back with those down and raise it up and pull it forward, and it comes right off. I can tell you about this. This spring has a big end and a little end. The big end is here, the small end is here. This fits on the barrel snug. This is loose. Don't put it on backwards. You'll mess up the barrel. So that's how that goes, but we're not going to have to mess with this. This is okay. The problem is in the bolt. The extractor is, and when I get inside to show you, it's not going over and grabbing the back of the casing, so it won't extract. It's a little complicated to take apart, but I'm going to show you how you do it. You've got 2 Phillips head screws, 1 on each side. Hold the little tab on the lever, take your screw out, and then be very careful. There's a ball bearing and a spring, and they are tiny, and you don't want to lose those. Here's the ball bearing, and underneath it, everything gets magnetized. And inside of here, there's a very tiny spring. There's the spring, very tiny. Easy to lose. Take the other side out as well. And underneath it will be the same thing. You'll have the screw, a ball bearing, and a spring. Very tiny spring. Try not to lose it. Then there's a roll pin. You drive out this roll pin. I know my hand's blocking the view, but I'm right-handed and the camera's on my left. But the one hole has the ball bearing in it, the other hole has the roll pin. You take it out. Now this piece is loose, but it can't come out because of the firing pin. The firing pin block is right here. So this is a little bit hard to do with just one hand, or even with 2 hands. I've misplaced my tiny punch, but I can use this. Well, I like that other punch. What did I do with it? But anyway, you have to push in on the firing pin block. When that's in, you can then, and this is going to be hard to show you, but here's the firing pin, but it won't go. You can't push it forward because the firing pin block is keeping it from moving. It won't allow it to move. So you push that in, then you can push the firing pin all the way forward. Well, you could if you had this in the right position. It needs to be in the, not the fire, but in a safe position. Then you can push this in. Hard to do. Hold that in. Then the firing pin will push forward, and it goes all the way forward. Now you can push this side, this piece out. It's a little bit hard to do. Once you get it started, then the firing pin can't push back up, and you can push it out. Now this piece is loose, and you can take it out. This is your bolt. This is your firing pin block. This is a firing pin, and there's a spring right here that I'll show you when we put it back together. The issue is that the ejector or the extractor, the groove in the side of the slide is not deep enough to let this go all the way out and grab the case. So you have to take a cutter and go in and open that notch up. Now it's a little bit hard to show you, but when you put this back in, you can tell by looking about where you have to. Now it's back in place. Here's the ejector, and it pivots about here. So you need to cut that groove to allow that ejector to go all the way in and grab the case. That's what you have to do. And you can see in there where I have taken this cutter and I have opened that up. You can go, the man at the distributor in Reno told me you can go about 30 thousandths into the slide and you're good to go. But that will fix your problem. Much easier to send it back, but in California we can't. Now believe this, the long barrel is not on the approved list. The short barrels are on the approved list. Same gun, but that just gives you an idea how smart California is. Now the spent casing is in here. There's one thing I really did not like, but they're all like that. At least that's what I'm told by the people in Reno. The ramp, the feed ramp, is cut away such that the casing, and you probably can't see it, it's so tiny, but it actually bulges right here. And this is a CCI Mini Mag. It has a bulge in the case, so it's on the verge of blowing out, but they don't blow out, but they do bulge. And just next to impossible to extract. Anyhow, that's the problem. I don't think I have time to put it back together to show you, but it's actually fairly simple. You don't have to take the safety out, the plunger, I don't think. I've never tried it by not taking it out, but this will go back in after you assemble everything. And come on. Okay, it's back in. You might be able to take this out and not remove this. I don't know. I've never tried. But when that's back in with the firing pin in it, I don't think it'll come out. I think you have to remove this. And I showed you how to do that. So anyway, that's how to fix the problem. You would obviously put it back together in exactly the opposite. And not a bad gun. It's comfortable to hold, and they're very accurate, the one with a long barrel. Other ones are just so-so, but 22 caliber, comes from Austria. They just shipped them all with a flaw, and if you've got one, you're going to have to deal with it. So that's it. Crazy Frank signing out.